The year of 2012 Ethiopian calendar was a year of huge challenges and crises, a year that saw enormous destruction and suffering of our people, and the postponement of the election under the pretext of COVID-19. But the people of Tigray, firmly believing that only the people can vote leaders into office and that leaders cannot stay at the helm of power through their whim, have successfully conducted election by using their inviolable right to self-determination. Members of Ethiopian nations and nationalities at home and abroad, not only have you recognized the right of the people of Tigray for self-determination, but you took it upon yourselves, stood in solidarity with our people, and paid all sacrifice. We thank you for standing firmly with us under difficult circumstances. Not only is the struggle shared with you, but also the victory. So we say congratulations. The outcome of Tigray's election is not decided by the government of Tigray, TPLF, other parties, or any other body. As far as their right to self-determination is concerned, the people of Tigray are above everybody else. They are the ultimate arbiter, appellate judge, and decision maker. The obsession with interpretation of articles is just a waste of time in the face of the sovereign decision of the people. The only option is to recognize and accept the inviolable right of the people to self-determination. Trying to explore other options can only be counterproductive. The peaceful path started between Ethiopia and Eritrea in September 2018 was short-lived, as it was not genuine and that it was contrived for nefarious ends. The two leaders did not work to strengthen the relations of the two peoples. Rather, they formed an unholy alliance with those who not only do not recognize Eritrea's independence, but claim territories up to the Red Sea coast just to gang up against Tigray. But we would like to make it clear that we are interested to move forward through collaborative dialogue with the people of Eritrea.
በተገባደደው 2012 ዓመተ ምህረት የአማራና የትግራይን ህዝብ ለማጋጨት ያልተደረጉ ሙከራዎች አልነበሩም።
No stone was left unturned in the just ended year of 2012 Ethiopian calendar to create conflict between the peoples of Tigray and Amhara. They attempted to prolong the pain of the people by unleashing the so-called Walqait Land Restoration Committee and other forces incubated through fear trafficking by falsely claiming that the Amhara will continue to suffer as long as TPLF exists. However, the Amhara people did not take their bait. Rather, they challenged them to desist from their treachery and do a self-evaluation of their internal weaknesses. They also told them that they would not enter into conflict with the people of Tigray. We would therefore like to reiterate our respect to the people of Amhara for averting worse crisis. As the people of Amhara who live in close proximity to the people of Tigray understand, armed groups supported by the Amhara region leadership were seen making frantic attempts to disrupt our elections yesterday. But they themselves are now witness to the fact that they cannot stand in the face of the people of Tigray and its security forces. We hope that the new year 2013 will be a year when the Amhara region leadership and its media will finally stop talking about Tigray. Start thinking and working for yourselves and the people you administer. Start serving your people or leave the space without reluctance for those who are willing and capable of serving the people. We hope the new year 2013 will be a year when impunity over violation of the lives of people, livelihoods and properties will end.
ትግራይ ህዝብ ላይ ከውጭ ኃይልም ጭምር የተባበራችሁ ሁሉም አይነት ግፍ በመፈጸም ላይ የምትገኙ የድሮና አዳዲስ አሃዳውያን እና ሌሎች ተስፈኞች ተላላኪዎችና ከተላላኪዎች በታች የሆናችሁ ሁሉ
And to those of you old and newly minted unitarists, opportunists, stooges and other lackeys who are committing all sorts of injustice against the people of Tigray, including through treasonous complicity with foreign forces, we would like to tell you that those who do not respect the people of Tigray shall suffer the consequences.
ማሳወቅ የምንፈልገው የትግራይ ህዝብን የማያከብር ጨው ለራሱ ብሎ ይጣፍጥ ነው።
Thank you very much for giving us this interview. In this city of Magala, where you are the mayor, people are voting today and also throughout Tigray. What is the significance of this election, regional election, for the people of Tigray, for the rest of the country, and also the Horn of Africa region?
Yeah, as you know, we are conducting the sixth election of Tigray. Significance of election is clear because it's the key for self-administration. This was a result of a very severe struggle of the Tigray people. So the people was very, very conscious of self-administrating. So in Mekelle city, we have around 107 police stations. All over, our preparation was very amazing. People are very determined for self-administration. So it was very, very successful preparation, even though we have a very short time of election parade. The preparation and the harmony between the government and our people was very amazing. We cannot negotiate on our self-administration, and our people is well aware of this. So whatever obstacles we had, we are conducting a very, very modern, legal, acceptable, and also accepted by the people.
Any signal or message that this may send to the other peoples of the country?
Yes, all people, as you know, we have been struggling for many years for our self-determination. It's not only for Tigray people and for the whole Ethiopia. That was the history of our struggle. So all people of Ethiopia has to struggle, and they should not negotiate on their self-administration. So other people of Ethiopia must follow this very historical event of Tigray people. It's legally accepted. It's right of people to choose their leaders. They have to be abide by the constitution, and constitutionally it's very legal and it's very amazing. That's why we are conducting very peaceful election, legal, and in all aspects very acceptable by the government and also people of Tigray.
As a voter and also as a candidate who ran for office previously, how different is today's election?
Today's election has very special characteristics and special significance. One important point is the people of Tigray have stood up strongly and united, firmly, for the rule of law, for the constitution, and for democracy. Second, they have proved their faithfulness to their martyrs who fought for this democracy, for this right. Third, it has been a peaceful struggle, no violence, no illegal acts. So it proves that these people and the government of Tigray are very responsible and peaceful. So all these things give it a special character and a special significance. And all that was for the peace of the country, for democracy of the country, for the rule of law to prevail, and for the people of Ethiopia to get united on common goals and on common interests. That's the significance.
So what message is it sending to the rest of the country and also the Horn of Africa at large?
The message is, once we get on board on democracy, we have to be able to empower the people to defend their democracy and their constitution by themselves. It should not be left for the goodwill or for the mercy of the government or the politicians or any elite group. That's what's happening now. So the dictatorial and unitary government in Addis Ababa has betrayed the constitution, has betrayed its obligation to the people, and has illegally postponed the election, presenting any excuse. But the people of Tigray and the government of Tigray have rejected this firmly and united on the basis of rule of law and principle. The reasons for the government to postpone the election are lame excuses. There are so many people in the world who have conducted their elections while they are facing coronavirus. It's possible. That was one reason for postponement. And the other reasons are all lame excuses to enable itself to stay in power. So the lesson is people have to defend their democracy, united and firmly, peacefully, so that it will not be at the mercy of individuals or parties, but in the hands of the people and the institutions they established. That's the lesson. And the lesson for the Ethiopians at large is we should do the same. We should defend our peace, we should defend our constitution, we should defend our federal system, we should defend our democratic rights so that we can hold our destiny in our hands, in the hands of the people. This is the only guarantee for democracy. If it's handed over to individuals or to groups or to parties, they can manipulate it, they can betray it as it's happening now. So that should be a lesson to be taken and a lesson to be learned about the future also. And I would like to thank, first of all, the people of Tigray, the government of Tigray, and the Ethiopian people who have shown us their solidarity in the decision of the Tigray people to conduct the election.
Tigray is holding its regional election today. More than 2.7 million registered voters will be casting their votes in over 2,600 polling stations throughout the region. Tigray's regional election was supposed to be part of Ethiopia's 6th round of general elections, which used to be held every 5 years. Many critics say the federal authorities used coronavirus as a pretext to postpone elections nationally and extend their grip on power indefinitely.
This is a historic day for Tigray, a region which was at the epicenter of one of the world's great civilizations, the pre-Aksumite Da'amat Kingdom, Aksumite civilization, and after a millennium of decline through the various vagaries of nature and man, but mainly due to the work of successive repressive regimes, Tigray is now on revival. In the last 3 decades, it has been, on a renaissance journey. And as you can see today, as enshrined in the Constitution, the people are voting and expressing their right for self-determination. We are at San'at Wayana polling station, and as you can see, people are voting in an orderly fashion, in a peaceful way. They have been here since 3:30 a.m. early morning, and they have been coming in droves, and we'll bring you up to speed from this station and other places.
My name is Gabriel and I live around here. I'm a Mekelle resident.
You cast your vote or not yet?
I just cast my vote now.
What is the significance of the election for you as a citizen?
Yeah, I mean the significance of election is the very essence of democratic rights, and I'm here to practice my democratic rights, and it's a 5-year event that should at any case be skipped by any condition, and finally we are here to exercise this very significant event of election.
Was there any difficulty voting, or is it orderly? How was it?
Yeah, from the voter registration it was very smooth and plain, and I think this is my third, or maybe it's my third election to participate in an election as a citizen. And it is like maybe much better than the previous elections. From the voter registration, it was very smooth and very participating. And today when we cast our vote, I just entered through the gate. It was free, and there was no intervention by any means, and I was freely casting my vote. And I'm a witness for that.
The federal government, particularly the House of Federation, said that this election will be considered as null and void. Are you concerned that your vote may not be considered as legal and valid?
Well, I mean, You cannot stand against a 2.7 million people who stand in front of you, who are determined, dedicated to determine their self-rule and self-determination. And I'm one of them. And, well, we are practicing the constitutional rights. And, you know, I know there were, you know, a lot of issues left and right, but finally, who wins is the people. And yes, there were pressure from the central government and whoever is, ganging behind the federal government. But finally, no one can stand in front of a flood of a wave of a population of 2.7 million people.
Finally, what message does this election in Tigray send to the rest of the country?
The message is clear and vivid. They are granted to the people of Ethiopia through a long time struggle that especially the north of Ethiopia, the Tigrayan people, have sacrificed tens of thousands of brave fighters. It is up to the Ethiopian people to maintain or to give it up. And the people of Tigray are determined to keep this vital right of democracy. And this is a clear message to our brothers to the south, to the north, to the west and east, to learn from this practice, to stand tall and go for it, go for democracy.
We're here with Mr. Muluwerk Kidana Mariam, Commissioner of the Tigray Electoral Commission. Commissioner Muluwerk, how are things progressing so far, both here in Mekelle and in other parts of the region?
Since the time we have completed the registration process, we have been arranging everything to do the polling date, and we have prepared the materials necessary for polling and sent it to the polling stations before yesterday. So all have arrived there, and all the officers put for completing the task have been ready for this day, and many people queued for election since 4 a.m. in the morning, although it was to be opened at 6, and many people have now cast their ballot to the people whom they chose. The information that I have from many parts of Tigray now is everything is going on in peace and according to what we have needed. So in some of the border areas even, many stations have completed about 75% of their task until 11 a.m. in the morning. And as you see it here also, there is not much queuing for the election process, since people have completed their duties early in the morning. All the necessary things have been done, and everything is going smoothly. The people have been enthusiastic for this day, because it is something that they have been waiting for in order to fulfill the right for their self-administration. So although Tigray has been surrounded by a hostile government from the center also, which was not happy for this election process, nevertheless the Tigray People's Council decided for election, and people supported it. So everything, all businessmen, all farmers, and all people of all walks of life have been happy to cast their ballot. So I think what we desired from the beginning is now completed, and we don't have much remaining except counting the votes.
And Commissioner, when will the votes be counted, and when can we expect to learn the results of the election?
Yeah, there are 3 stages in the collection of the information. There are local polling stations. So the results for each polling station will be completed by tomorrow morning. So they will pass their information to the higher level, which we call the constituencies. And these constituencies must gather all the information from the lower level. As you know, we have around 2,670 tabias or local polling stations. And these polling stations will pass their results to 38 regional or simply regional polling stations, we call them. After this, then the results will be summed up and sent to us. So at least we are hoping that we can complete it in 2 to 3 days. But the latest for us, according to the timetable, is on September 11. And therefore, by then, we have to complete the report and pass it to the electorate and the government.
And lastly, Commissioner, what protocols are in place to help stop the spread of COVID-19?
Yeah, Tigray has been readying itself for this pandemic. That sanitizers, masks, and steps for queuing also, and many other things have been completed. As you know, Tigray is one of the most highly organized societies that we have. So we have mobilized around 8,300 youths for the purpose of this lining, and also bringing the sanitizers to the public, and also trying to help old people, aged people, and some also others who are disabled, and therefore that they are given also a priority in the voting process. So we have been making ourselves ready, but it's not at the commission level that this has been handled. It is in connection to the regional health bureau. So it has the command post for controlling the coronavirus. So it was with this that we have coordinated our efforts, and so that the checking of people coming from outside has been handled by the health bureau, and this has been facilitated for those persons who are coming to observe the election process, and many other things have been done. So I think it has been as much as possible very safe. All the people have been simply bringing different ideas in terms of political propaganda rather than the reality. As you have seen it, the thing or the lining up here has been very simple and distanced. Compare this to the lining up in the taxi stations in Addis, and therefore that is a daily life, but this is once in a year or in 5 years, and therefore I think this was brought by the government as a justification for delaying the election process. But as we see it, we have taken it as a pretext rather than a cause. But in our case, for the sake of our people and for the sake of ourselves also who are living here and in between the people, then we have taken serious measures coordinating every person. Women organizations have participated in this. Disabled veterans also have participated in this. Therefore, observers are here, but observers are distanced even in sitting. And many serious precautions have been taken in order to combat and not to aggravate the possibility of the spread of the disease as a result of this day. Therefore, it has been safe as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your time. I'm Malay Manilik, and we're reporting from Tsanat Wayana polling station in Maqala.
This is Mikhail Munasser reporting for Tigrai Television from Tsanat Wayana here in Maqala.